The government of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma in Assam has completed 1 year in office today. I have with me Ms. Riniki Bhuyan Sharma, business leader and philanthropist, and of course, the wife of Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. Ms. Riniki Bhuyan Sharma, welcome.
Thank you so much, Wasbir.
You see, as his better half, what do you think of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma as Chief Minister? And what do you think of his government's performance during the past 1 year?
As Himanta's government for the past 1 year, and as his performance as a Chief Minister, I would rather speak from the layman's term of a view, because which I have seen and I have heard the people's feedback and the kind of way and the speed that he has been taking forward in his work. Because normally when we are home, so we normally not really very much talk about politics. So when he is back home after his hard day, and sometimes like when we come across, like when we talk or sit across at a table, then he tries to talk about his visions or where he would like to take Assam forward in his views or in his visions which he has planned. In this matter, like when I talk with him or like when I'm having the feedbacks, so since I'm personally myself is also into the media, so hearing a lot of people like what his work has been and how he's been doing and how he's been progressing forward, I hope and I believe and I have very strong hopes that his government is really doing a very great job. And since it is only his 1 year, and his real works will be start reflecting from the next year and so on.
Absolutely. You mean to say that he has laid the foundation of, and this which he is going to complete in the next 4 years of his term. Now, you know, he has been an elected legislator for more than 2 decades. Now, what changes have you noticed in him now that he is the Chief Minister?
He has been a workaholic all throughout, and as far as when his work starts, like there is no night or a day for him. So until unless he finishes the task, it is like a never-ending job for him. So his workaholic nature has been like a part of with us, so which I've been doing. But now as a Chief Minister, I find him more confident. And so whatever, because he has been materializing what he has, like has his visions in front of his eyes.
He has been able to, you mean to say that he has been able to translate his dreams into reality?
Right, he has been translating his dreams and whatever visions he has in mind, so he has been able to take forward.
Now, you know, you have said that you usually do not talk politics at home, but what do you talk at home? Is it on family issues, or does he talk about his plans and programs, what he is planning for the state and the people?
To be on a lighter note, we talk more about Jalukbari. So that is our heart, our soul, and from where he has been elected as a member of Legislative Assembly for so many number of years. But although in between his works, sometimes when I say like you don't give time to a home, he tries to be a father by force. Like he'll try to ask his children what he's doing, what they are going, where they did my. But it's a very beautiful part and beautiful part of our journey. With best of his intentions, he tries to be very much a family man, but still his work and the load which he has in his hand, but deep inside he wants to be an all-rounder.
No, I have recently seen some pictures where he's posing, you know, he has a perfect pose with the family, you know, during, I mean, it's not really a holiday, but it's work come holiday, but I see him posing.
Yeah, it was a visit to Karbi Anglong, and he told us like, Rimi, my son is coming, let's go. But later when I reached Karbi Anglong, I realized that it was not a holiday. It was a work visit, and we were about to go for a beautiful show in an auditorium, and we were all dressed in our attire. So I was telling him like since we four doesn't get together,
let's take a picture.
So let's take a picture. And he was sitting like a king in between, and we were all, all laughing. But that was a very good light moment of our lives.
Now, does he set targets for himself? Why I'm asking you this question is that he always appears to be a man in a hurry, man on a mission. He travels across the state, personally monitors schemes and programs. He personally likes to supervise them. So does he set targets for himself?
Targets are there, but the thing is that, as you said, he's a man in a hurry. So and he really visualizes, and he's a very passionate worker, you see. So when he goes, and there are some things which he immediately takes an action. For example, okay, fine, I'll work from 1 to 10. But if he says that something needs to be done, he takes the 11th step also, he takes the 12th step also.
Yeah.
And whatever he does, he makes it sure that it is a full round holistic circle that he takes care of.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, I have been talking to very important leaders of the BJP and other alliance partners in the state. They're saying that, in Assamese, they said, Baro Baji Goise. He's a workaholic, because he's constantly on the move. You've never seen a chief minister who is touring every single day, personally monitoring things. So you are yourself a very busy person. So how is it being, he is there, nowhere to be seen because he's all the time outside. You are yourself busy. How is it being being the wife of a workaholic like Himanta Biswa Sharma?
It is difficult, but one good thing about him is that, as I have already constantly been saying in all my interviews, that somewhere he manages to find time. Yeah. And although it is at odd hours, he'll come at 2 o'clock and try to wake up his children, but they are also used. Acha,
he comes home at 2 o'clock and wakes up the children.
Wakes them up, and suddenly...
Just to have a chat or something?
Just to have a chat, and they'll keep on us. And then suddenly, when all of us are there, we realize that all three of us are jumping, and he's fast asleep.
Oh God, that's interesting.
But he tries to be.
Now, every leader has some dream, and what do you think are his dreams for Assam? He may be talking about that to you at times. So what are his basic major focus as far as Assam is concerned?
He always keeps on telling his vision for Assam, and he always dreams about a beautiful Assam coming up, and he wants to take Assam in the national map. So that, because Assam, like always, we think that it has been a neglected zone. People from other parts don't really know about Assam. So he said that let us work in such a way so that Assam comes in the national map, and everybody knows, they should know about what Assam is, the history, the environment, the culture, which is nowhere anywhere like in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have you told him anything on your own about what his priorities and focus should be? Because you may be also having your own ideas which you might like to see implemented. Why not throw your husband, who is the chief minister?
Yeah, but normally when we two are a combination, so I am personally completely into the business side of the entrepreneur side of the life, and he's completely a politician.
Yeah.
So when we talk, then I normally used to say, I'm not in the circuit of your people, so I always observe you from outside. So when can I see? When I see you talking and I observe you while handling your people or the people who comes, one thing keep in mind, since you are a visionary and you have got great dreams for Assam, the basic thing that you should have is your head on your shoulders. And normally in this kind of life, it is not very easy.
Absolutely. I think that's a very, very grounded and sane advice, I would say. Suppose you see something wrong, either deliberately or otherwise. Would you be willing to point it out to him? Ever? Suppose, I'm not saying that anything wrong has happened. In case there is something wrong, steps taken by him or his government, would you be willing to tell it to him?
Yes. First of all, Wasbir, I would like to say that we are all human beings.
Yes.
And we might have errors.
Absolutely.
if we are perfect, we would have been God. So if he, and in the last 20 years also, and now after he being the CM, people might feel some difficult to point it out also. But as a wife, it is my duty to just point it out. But the decision, it is his.
Absolutely.
What he takes.
Absolutely.
But if I see from my eyes that it is wrong,
you will definitely point it.
101%.
Recently, we saw a very interesting spectacle that was in Kaziranga, where Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma was having a meeting with all his legislators of the BJP and alliance partners over 2 days. Then suddenly we saw him meeting a 90-year-old lady who had come to meet him regarding some problem for which she was not finding a solution. She was moving from pillar to post. She was not finding a solution. She was trying to draw the attention of the chief minister. When he learned that this lady is waiting for him, he came and he sat down almost at her feet and started listening to her problems, took the memorandum or letter from her and gave it to his aides to sort it out. And this video has gone viral across the nation and said that here is a chief minister who is sitting at the feet of a lady and listening, of an old lady, and listening to her grievances, her problems, and trying to solve it. Now, when you see this kind of a thing, this kind of an extraordinary thing, what do you feel? Or do you think Himanta Biswa Sharma, that is in his nature?
This is the first time actually, Wasbir, that has been seen in the video after he has become a Chief Minister of Assam.
Right.
Because he's always on the camera. But I would like to point out that it is a second nature. And I've been doing this all throughout. Not even before I have met him, as I told in other interviews, that I met him at the age of 17 years. From then, as a young boy, I don't know, this has got a very compassionate behavior. So, like, even if you see somebody seeing on the road, a small boy, he would not give money, but he would take the food, he would feed them. And that is where his happiness lies. And he has been doing it for years, and under him we are running 2 trusts also. One is for the specially able children, and we have got 29 kids who has been home away from home. And that is one part which he never forgets to ask any day.
Would you then say that he is a very soft-hearted person with a very, very humane touch? Anything he finds people in distress, he comes forward to help them.
He although appears very strong and very tough, but somewhere if you see what the real Himanta Biswa Sharma is, he's a very soft person. I would let small incident. My son was small and I had an operation. So unknowingly my son just hit my my face, and the immediate reaction was a slight spank on my son. Then after 2 minutes there was a howling crying. Then I thought the son was crying, but the son was happy. Then I saw someone crying and said that you hit me, don't hit my son, and he was howling and crying.
Oh, that was Himanta Biswa Sharma?
That was Himanta Biswa Sharma.
God.
He is someone who doesn't even allow, till now, when he sees anything like in our family also, but if he sees somebody waiting outside in the gate also, he will call, he will make him sit, he will feed them, and he finds happiness in that. And that is his thorough character.
Is he a very spiritual kind of a person?
Too spiritual. I would call too spiritual. And every day it makes it a point that remembering the God sitting in the mandir, and he tries to pray, although among his British, I thought he will forget after being the CM, but still now every day 10 minutes he sits, he does his meditation, then he goes out.
Riniki Bhuyan Sharma, thank you very much for speaking to me and giving our viewers an insight into the man that is Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, and help us decode his vision, his dreams, and his passion with which he is working from Assam and the people.
Thank you so much, Wasbir. Thank you for inviting me to the show. And,
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
Well, that was Riniki Bhuyan Sharma giving us an inside view of what happens in the Himanta Biswa Sharma household, what they talk, what is his nature, his daily life, and his vision for Assam.